Hello everyone! In this tutorial we explain maybe the simplest possible method for installing a Linux desktop and Linux graphics user interface or GUI in Windows Subsystem for Linux or WSL2. Here is a brief overview of the tasks that we will perform in this tutorial in order to install the desktop environment. Number 1. We will install WSL2 and a desired Linux distribution. In our case, we will install Ubuntu 24.04. However, everything explained in this tutorial applies to any other supported Linux distribution. Next, we will install Tasksel. Tasksel is a software package that can be used to install the Linux desktop environment, that is, to install Linux GUI. Then we will install Xrdp. Xrdp is a software package that enables us to set up and use a remote desktop protocol. Xrdp is developed by Microsoft and it allows us to remotely access and interact with the server's graphics user interface. Xrdp is an abbreviation or acronym for X Remote Desktop Protocol. And finally, we will use the Windows Remote Desktop connection to connect to the Linux desktop environment. And in this way, you will be able to use Linux desktop inside of WSL2. By the end of this video tutorial, you will learn how to run a Linux graphics user interface inside of WSL. And here is a demonstration of a Gnome Linux graphics user interface. I'm running this graphics user interface inside of my WSL session. And over here, I can start any program. For example, I can use Firefox, I can Google, I can go, for example, to any website, I can go to Wikipedia, or I can even start any software over here. For example, I can start LibreOffice to type something. And again, I'm running this inside of WSL session, as you can see over here. Let's start with the first step. The first step is to install the Windows Subsystem for Linux. Maybe some of you already have Windows Subsystem for Linux and consequently you can skip this step. If you don't have WSL2 installed on your system, you can install it as follows. First of all, click on Start and search for Windows PowerShell. Then, don't immediately start Windows PowerShell, do the right click and run as administrator. And over here, I'm going to resize this window such that you can see what I'm typing and at the same time you can follow this manual. First, let's check if WSL is installed. We can do that by typing this WSL with an option L and V and press enter. If WSL is installed, you will see at least Ubuntu and you will see its current version over here. If you see something like this, this means that WSL is installed and you don't need to reinstall it. However, if you don't see anything, then you can install WSL like this. You can simply type WSL and with a double dash install. After you press enter, WSL will be installed and you might be asked for several things to confirm, and after that you need to restart your system. After you restart your system, open again Windows PowerShell in the administrator mode. Then we need to install a desired Linux distribution. To list all the supported Linux distributions, you need to type WSL with a double dash, list, and then online. And this command will list all the available Linux distributions that can be installed inside of WSL. In our case, we will choose this option, Ubuntu 24.04. And let's explain how to install this particular version. To install this version of Ubuntu, you simply need to do this. WSL double dash list, or basically not list, you need to type WSL w-install with an option D, Ubuntu, and you need to specify the correct version. Here it is. This version over here, that is this name, should precisely match the name over here. Consequently, the best idea is maybe to simply copy and paste this version over here. I will do it once more to make sure that it's perfectly fine. Okay, now let's press enter, and this command will install Ubuntu 24.04. Over here you can see the installation process, and this might take maybe a minute or even less, depending on how fast is your internet connection and how fast is your computer. Then you will be asked to enter a new Unix username. I will enter username, and you need to set your password. Then you need to retype the password. Let me now just do this again. Yes. And that's it. Installation is successful. Perfect. Over here, you will observe that you're automatically logged in inside of your Linux Ubuntu session. And you can confirm the current installation by typing lsb release with an option A. And over here you can see that indeed we have installed Ubuntu 24.04. Let's exit our Linux Ubuntu session by simply typing exit, and we are back in the Windows PowerShell command prompt. In the Windows PowerShell you can again type this command, and you will see that currently we have Ubuntu 24.04. This star over here means that the default version is actually this version of Ubuntu. It's not 24.04, I think it's 22.04 or something similar. However, don't worry about that. We will manually start Ubuntu 24.04. To show you how to start Ubuntu 24.04, I'm going to close the PowerShell and then over here click on Start and search for Ubuntu. And over here, if you type 24, you will see that the app is over here. That is, it's kind of installed as a standalone app. This is one way for starting Ubuntu 24.04. So let's start it like this. And here you are. You will be asked to enter your information if you didn't do it, for example, for a day, for example, username and password. However, here I'm automatically logged in. Here's another method to launch Ubuntu from the PowerShell. To do that, again, open Windows PowerShell, open in the administrator mode, and over here, again, let's list all the installed versions. We can simply do that by typing WSL L and V, and to start a particular Ubuntu version, we simply need to type WSL D, and over here let's copy the name of the distribution we want to start. So let's start this distribution, and here we are. Now you can type lsb release A, and you will see that you're inside of Ubuntu. So let's go to our root and let's see where we are. We are here. We can go to home and we have everything over here. Good. However, I prefer a graphical approach to start Ubuntu, so let me search Ubuntu 24.04 and let's start again. First of all, let me adjust the font size such that you can see what I'm typing. To do that, you can right-click over here, click on Properties, and I will set the font size, for example, to 24. Let me see over here. Perfect. Now you can see what I'm typing, and we can continue with other steps. Now that we have installed Ubuntu on our system, let's update and upgrade. Consequently, type sudo apt update. To update, enter your password. And after that, you need to upgrade. My suggestion is to perform these steps at least 2 times a week. After that, let's type sudo apt upgrade. And this might take some time. These two steps are very important, since if you don't do that, you will not have up-to-date versions of programs and packages inside of your Ubuntu, and you might have some issues with installing other programs that are necessary to run Ubuntu graphics user interface. Okay, the next step is to install Tasksel. To install Tasksel, simply type sudo apt install Tasksel. And let's click on yes. Now this will take some time, so be patient. Okay, not too long, maybe several seconds. Let's start Tasksel. So type sudo Tasksel. It's very important to start Tasksel inside of sudo permissions. That is, you need to set it with permissions. Okay, over here we have several options. These are the options for the graphics user interface. Now you need to navigate this small menu over here, and let me expand this so you can better see what's happening here. You have the first option. The first option is Debian desktop environment. The second one is Gnome. And then you also have Xfce, which are very popular options. In this case, I'm going to install Gnome. However, you can also play with Xfce or with some other version, for example, with Mate version of a desktop or anything similar. Okay, so let me select Gnome. So simply navigate with your keys up and down and press space over here to select Gnome. Then press tab key, keyboard key, and press OK. This will select and install Gnome. And you can see over here the progress, and this process might take several minutes. Okay, around 4 to 5 minutes passed and we are almost done. So don't worry, this process is going to take a while. Since you're installing a desktop version with all the apps, probably with Chrome, with Office, and with all the apps that come with a specific Gnome distribution. And after approximately 5 minutes, the process is completed and we can install the Xrdp software package. To do that, we need to type sudo apt install Xrdp and with an option yes. So let's type this and let's be patient. Next, let's confirm the installation. To do that, we need to type sudo systemctl status Xrdp, and here it is. What is very important to observe is that here we see active or running. This means that Xrdp is running and we can start the remote desktop connection. And that's it. You can simply stop this display by pressing Ctrl+C. Good. Next, we need to figure out what is the address of this current Linux distribution. We can do that by simply typing IPA. And over here, you need to find this address. Here it is. Don't worry, these are not sensitive addresses, so you cannot figure out anything about my IP address by just looking at this address over here. So again, we need to copy this address. Just this part over here, that is the part that's written next to inet. So let's copy this and let's start the Windows Remote Desktop Connection. So search for Remote Desktop Connection. Here it is. Let's start Remote Desktop Connection, and over here simply paste this address, click on Connect, and you'll be redirected to this window over here. This is a very good sign. Make sure over here that you select Xorg, and what I need to say over here is that Xorg is related to Gnome. That's why I'm selecting here Xorg. Set your username, that is, enter your real username, the username you use to start this Linux session, and enter your password. Here it is. Click OK, and this should start graphics user interface. And here it is. Click on Next, and let me just select English over here. Click on Next, Setup complete, start using Ubuntu, and voila, we are inside of Gnome. Here we are. I can click over here, then I can go all the way down. I can click here and I can look inside of my apps. For example, over here I can search for terminal. I can start my terminal over here, and you can use everything as normal. As a test, let's start Firefox. So let's click here, and let's start Firefox. And let's try to Google and see if we can actually Google everything. Yes, we can do. You can, for example, visit my web page. Let's see, will it work? And let's see. It's going to take a while to load the web page. However, it works perfectly. Here it is. Here is the web page. It works as expected, as well as some other programs. So let's investigate. If we search or if we click over here, we can try to start some other programs such as LibreOffice. So let's start Office and LibreOffice Writer. So let's start, and we can, okay. So let's start. I am typing something over here. Works perfect.